Brother John Gregory and Lamar West, the first Assistant General Overseer for the Department of Benevolence of the Church of God, arrive in Chennai. Here to inaugurate a home for the aged, they immediately feel the heat and humidity of a typical Madras summer.
I am very glad to receive Dr. Lamar West, our first Assistant General Overseer, and also Brother John Gregory in our midst.
Kurukupet at Chennai is home to some of the poorest and most neglected people. This is where the Church of God has been most active through the efforts of Rev. Wellesly Solomon. A year ago, the Little Angels Orphanage was opened here and has sheltered over 100 children. Now, a home for the aged extends the scope of the Church of God's service to the aged and vulnerable sections of the poor. Korukupet, Vyasarpadi, Tiruvottiur and Kodungayur are areas of Chennai where the Church of God has been most active. Living in huts, surrounded by extremely unhygienic conditions, these people are sustained by the food that Rev. Solomon gives them and the faith from which it is drawn. It is no wonder that the Church of God activities have had a visible impact on the well-being of these people. A regular feeding program begun by Rev. Wellesly Solomon brings relief to thousands of poor people from the slums of these areas. Apart from this, food reaches the neighboring community in the slums through food packets distributed by Pastor Solomon. Rev. Wellesly Solomon describes what feeding over 10,000 people meant to Dr. John Nichols and Brother John Gregory 2 years ago.
A couple of years back, Dr. Nichols and Brother John Gregory visited the place at Kurukupete and prayed a prayer. If you provide a home and the facility for the 100 children, we will be thankful to you. So the prayer was heard by God and answered by God, and that is the fruitful prayer, so that the next time Dr. John Nichols and Brother Gregory came and dedicated a beautiful dormitory for the children, Little Angels Home. We are so thankful to them and also grateful to God. Their vision came true. They fed more than 10,000 poor people in 4 Sundays. Their heart is by supplying food to the poor people. We cannot able to give food continuously by getting the sponsors. We had paddy field, so that from that the harvest we are feeding the children and also feeding the poor people.
Sustaining thousands of people by buying food from the market has its own difficulties in the long run. With the help of the Department of Benevolence, Rev. Solomon acquired 11 acres of land near Chennai where food could be grown all around the year for continuous feeding of the poor. Brother John Gregory and Lemar West visited this field about 48 kilometers away from Chennai, near the small town of Periyapalayam. A vegetable garden abuts the green fields of paddy that convey a sense of abundance. The work on the land is aided by able machinery. A harvester mows through the ripe sheaves of grain.
An exciting opportunity just to be here. And I've known Brother Solomon for a long time, and I've always known him to be a very creative person, but to see the vision.
Yeah.
I mean, you talk about the harvest,
Yeah.
but there's also a vision here. And the idea of producing the food ourselves. And I saw some of the workers in the field here, and I know that you're also hiring them from the community here, so you're also providing for them as well. It's incredible, and it's an exciting thing to be here, John. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Oh, I'm just so excited, like Brother Vest is. I mean, just to come out here and see and just know the continuation that can go on and continuing to provide food for the poor and for the orphans and on these feeding programs is just amazing. Now, Brother Solomon,
Okay.
thank you, brother.
Thank you, brother. And
Oh, thank God for the Department of Benevolence and the work that the Church of God Department of Benevolence is doing here in India.
Workers on the field are drawn from the local community. These poor people, laboring many years for meager returns, now find a means of steady sustenance that gives them strength. The harvested grain is a wonderful sight. It conveys hope for the morrow. The effect of the Church of God activities on the people is explained by Rev. Solomon.
We were talking earlier, Pastor Solomon, about the orphanage in the slum area of Madras and the impact that it was having there. And I know Brother Invest and myself were just amazed at how you were describing the impact that it was having on the whole community there. Maybe you can describe that again.
The slum community, before starting the church and the orphanage, there was full crimes and alcohols and wicked things happened. After we started the church and orphanage, 75% of the crime has been eliminated from the community. 5% of the crime has been eliminated from the community through the power of God, through the social work. I thank God.
The missionaries get a true feel of what goes into the growing of the grain. Riding and driving the tractor brings happy moments to Brother West.
Well, Brother Ernie, I'm sorry you couldn't make it here, but we're having a great time here in Madras, India. And if you look behind me, these 11 acres is part of your gift to the Department of Benevolence. And I know Pastor Solomon really appreciates it. And right here, this is that $8,500 tractor you gave to Pastor Solomon and to the Church of God in India to do this work out here in the fields. And Pastor Solomon and I were just talking, and this 11 acres produces almost 1,000 pounds of rice. And because of your gift and because of your gift with this tractor, what's happening is all the orphanages, all the kids at the orphans, all the orphans at the orphanage, they're all being fed rice. And all the 4 feeding programs that we saw last year, all 4 of them, this field provides rice for up to, 6,000 to 7,000 people once a week. off of these 10 acres. It's just amazing. I just get excited saying it. And it's just so, praise the Lord, I'm just so excited about it. I wish you could be here, but you're going to be able to see it. The harvesting has begun, and people's lives are being changed. Pastor Solomon was telling us because of the orphanage and the impact that it's having in community, crime is going way down. People are seeing the light of Jesus in that community. So I'm just looking forward, and I know Brother Nichols is looking forward, and I'm sure the whole Church of God is looking forward to the other type of things that we can do here in India. Pastor Solomon, this is a model project for benevolence and the impact that it has for the church.
Looking over the fields, Reverend Solomon and brothers John Gregory and Lamar West draw strength from the gift of the land. The green crop of plenty is a satisfying sight indeed. Touching the harvested grain brings a sense of joy.
It's just amazing to be here in Madras, India. And as Brother Solomon said, the impact that the Department of Benevolence of the Church of God is having here is tangible. You can feel it, Brother Vest. And when Brother Solomon was talking about the impact that the orphanage and the widow's home and the free clinic is having in the slum area, and how it's decreasing crime 75% in that area, you can really feel that too, because when you look at the smiles on the children's faces and the people in the church there, they have the love of the Lord on their faces, and that's contagious, and you can see how that can impact a whole community. So I'm just proud of you, Brother Solomon, for your vision here, and I know I speak for Brother Nichols as Director of Department of Benevolence, and I'm sure for the whole Church of God, Brother Vest, as we're so proud of what the Church of God here in India is doing in benevolent work through the poor and through the feeding programs and through the orphanage. So, Brother Solomon.
How can any public occasion be complete without the charity that has drawn so many followers to the Church of God? The missionaries distribute food and cloth to the poor. Reverend Solomon conveys his thanks to the Department of Benevolence and Dr. John Nichols for their continued help and efforts in fulfilling God's work. The handicapped receive a fresh lease of life, tricycles that help them to be mobile on busy streets. Sewing machines are given to women to help them earn a living. The setting sun over the fields holds hope of a better tomorrow.